Welcome back. We are continuing getting reaction with regards to the passing of legendary sports writer, sports journalist Sibusiso Mseleku. I have a statement in front of me here from the family spokesperson, Vincent Magweni. I just want to read it out to you very quickly. It says, "It is with great sadness that the Mseleku family confirms the death of legendary and award-winning sports writer Sibusiso Mseleku. He was 59 years old. Mseleku died on Monday, the 17th of August at the Midvaal Private Hospital of a short COVID-19 related illness. In his illustrious sports journalism career, Mseleku worked for the Sowetan, served as sports editor for Drum magazine, delivered football insights as an analyst on SABC Sports, as well as other numerous broadcast channels, and led the City Press Sports Department as the sports editor. Sibusiso is survived by his 5 children. Further details with regards to funeral arrangements, no doubt, will be released soon. I want to get more reaction on this passing. Timothy Malobi, a former colleague, now joins us on the line. Timothy, thank you very much indeed for your time. Condolences to you as a colleague of Sibusiso. Your reaction, sir?
Thank you and good morning. When you read that statement, 2 things that caught my attention: legendary and award-winning. That's the best way to describe Mr. Mseleku. When I first started working with him back in 2004, I never knew that we'd have such a wonderful and fulfilling working relationship together. I learned a lot from him as an understudy to him, and eventually I became his deputy. And I mean, his work will always follow what he's been doing. One of the best in the industry, and it's so soon after the passing of another legend, Louis Mazibuko, last month. May his soul rest in peace, and condolences to the Mseleku family.
What was it like, Timothy, working alongside Sibusiso? I mean, in the newsroom. Take us through his thought process, how he processed stories, how he went about doing things.
One thing that was outstanding about him, I always applauded him for that, was that he didn't want to be a leader who, because this is how people who had led him behaved. He wanted to be his own man. He didn't want to be a boss. He'll let you do what give you freedom to do what you want to do. But when there are mistakes, he'll call you aside. He doesn't wait until those times for KPA to say, but here and there you should have done 1, 2, 3. And one thing that I liked about him was that he never held grudges. He'll just address issues. And these are things that people should learn to say. You address issues, you move on, and then no grudges, and life goes on. This is one of the things that he has taught me, and that in my line of duty, I'll never forget to say, when you are in a leadership position, your role is to guide people. Let them do what they have to do without interference, without micromanaging people. Just let them be what they want to be. And then by that way, they will excel. And as a leader, you will feel fulfilled to say, but here, at least I'm making a difference.
Timothy, stand by. I just want to bring into the conversation Thomas Gunaite, who also knows Sibusiso very well, long-standing friend. Thomas, thank you very much indeed for coming on. Deepest condolences to you. Your reaction to the death of Sibusiso Mseleku?
Thanks very much, and good morning to your viewers. I'm absolutely stunned. I just couldn't believe that Sibu could go so early. The condolences to his family and friends, and I'm literally shocked. When I heard that Sibu is no more, I thought he'll pull through, because I got a message a couple of weeks ago that he was hospitalized, and knowing him as a fighter, I literally thought that he will make it, but unfortunately, the sad news this morning that he's no more. And as I said, condolences once more to his family and friends.
Thomas, talk to us about the last time you interacted with Sibusiso.
This COVID pandemic, we haven't been communicating as regularly as we used to do in the past. But I come a long way with Sibusiso. I mean, we entered this the media profession almost at the same time. We found veterans like Sekola Sello, Phil Nyamani, Phil Timkulu, Harold Pongolo, Jimmy Toti, Gabutu Juana, and Doc Bikicha, you name them. We came during that era, Bafana Shezi, Asamu Lisiwa, and the like, and we fell under their tutelage, and we had this friendly rivalry, Sbu and I, and like, I'm not ashamed to say, he used to say, I think I'm gonna take the baton this year. Like I'm going to be, as Timothy has already alluded to, that he was an award-winning journalist. We used to take bets that this year is my turn, something like that. Although deep down we would sit down and chat and say, listen, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We mustn't go out there to compete to become like the best writer of the year. Our duty is to serve the public. And he used to say, tell the truth and nothing but the truth. He said, I would rather die telling the truth than lie to the public, because you would lose credibility if you lie. And especially, Sbu hated to apologize publicly to the public about a story that he had written and it had been found to be either untrue or he hadn't been able to get to the other side of the story. That's the truth that I mean.
And that's something that all journalists try to live up to, isn't it? I mean, sometimes we fall so short of it, but that's the ideal in order to keep on telling the truth no matter what. Timothy, you say you've been in this game, since 2004, if I remember correctly. And no doubt, Sibusiso has imparted great knowledge onto you for a number of years now that you've been working with him, Timothy. Talk to us about some of the lessons that you'll never forget.
One thing that made him and me to, form a strong bond was our religious beliefs. He was a preacher, and he would come and say, in church I heard this song, a Sotho song, but I don't know, can you help me? And I'll go into my hymn books and say, is this the song? Sometimes he'll call me at night, say, no man, there's this song that I heard, what does it say? And then I'll tell him. And then, that made us to be, even our relationship to grow beyond our working environment. But like Tiki Tike says, he preached that you write without fear or favor. He didn't care about being the first with news. He just wanted us to be to do it the first time. And that thing will always stay with us. That you don't rush to become the first with the news. Just make sure that you get it right the first time. I'll never forget that. You'd
rather be second and right than first and wrong, isn't it? It's
correct.
Great. It's a great lesson. Timothy, thank you very much indeed for coming on and sharing your insights. Be well.
Thank you.
All right, Thomas is still with us. Thomas, just talk to us about, he was a guru in terms of football, but many didn't know that he also enjoyed tennis and boxing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when we came in during the early 1980s, around 1983, 84, he said to me, TK, we love football and we are very passionate about football, but you need to be versatile. You need to spread your wings and be able to write about tennis, about netball, athletics, boxing, even rugby. And I said, no, not rugby. He said, no. You need, cricket and all that. And in my view, cricket was a white man's sport, cricket and rugby. But he said, no, you need to get to know what goes on within rugby and within cricket. You never know. They could hire an excellent writer who writes so well about football. And what are you going to do? Because all you know is writing football. So you've got to spread your wings and be versatile. And yes, he loved tennis. And I was quite amazed about his knowledge regarding tennis.
Yeah.
And, yes, you're quite right. And boxing as well.
Right.
He loved boxing to bits, yes. And in fact, just shortly before the COVID-19, he chastised me very gently for that matter. He said, TK, you know what happened? You are the guy who brought us the Picard Commission of Inquiry into football. What happened? You need to write your book. And I kept on saying, Sbu, it's in the it's in the making. And he said, no. I know you. You are too lazy. You are very, very lazy. You've got to get that book out of the way because our time is up. And that's what he said.
Yeah. The time, I think, is now, Thomas. Thank you very much indeed. Thomas, stay with us. I want to bring in Vincent Magwenya, family spokesperson. Vincent, our heart goes out to you and the family of Sibusiso Mseleku at this time. Such a great loss, such a young age as well. Tell us more about him.
Yes, Glenn, thank you so much. It is indeed with great sadness that the family confirms the death of legendary and award-winning sports writer Sibusiso Mseleku. He passed away last night at the Midval Private Hospital following a short COVID-19 related illness. As explained by the colleagues who have been on air, he had an illustrious sports journalism career. He worked for Sowetan. In fact, when I met him in 1993, he was working for the Sowetan. He went on to be sports editor for Drum magazine. He delivered football insights as an analyst on SABC Sports and other numerous broadcast channels. And up until recently, before forming his own entity, Mseleku Sports, he was the sports editor for City Press.
Yeah.
So, we are indeed saddened by his passing away. He will not only be missed by his family members and friends, but by the media fraternity and the football fraternity at large, which he was very much part of and was very passionate about.
Talk to us about Sibusiso as a family man.
Where do I start? He was through and through a family man, had 5 children, loved his family, was very close to his mother, who's still alive, will frequently go home to visit his mother and to be with his family. Grew up in a very tight-knit, close family, which was made even closer by the loss of his father in the early 90s. So very dedicated to his family, but equally very dedicated to his profession and to his love of sport. If you visited him at his home, there will be family members, but there will be some sport event that's running on TV on the background, and he will give you 1 or 2 anecdotes about that sporting event, and he will give you 1 or 2 revelations, so to speak, things that you did not know about that sport or the behind the scenes goings about that sport. But he was very close to his family and very much dedicated to his children.
Vincent, the pain of the pandemic is all too real, isn't it? When we have losses like this with Sibusiso Mseleku and the over 11,000 other people that have lost their lives due to COVID-19 related illness. And I guess it puts into sharp focus the need not to get complacent. Although we're moving down now to level 2, the warning is don't get complacent. The threat is still out there. Thomas, let me bring you back into the conversation. And you were talking about issues of transformation We're very much in the midst of talking about it. It's a topical conversation at the moment with regards to cricket as well. And you were talking about how Sibusiso was talking about covering cricket and covering rugby as well. Did he have a view on the way the country was going in terms of transformation in sport?
Yeah, he was. I think he was deeply saddened by the lack of transformation in rugby and cricket, but sometimes he said he felt like a lone voice in the ocean because these two sporting codes did not seem to have the inclination to change. According to him, he felt like no matter how hard we try, no matter the fact that we are in a so-called rainbow nation, we established a rainbow nation in 1994. They just don't want to become part of the whole country, and it made him sad. He was very, very sad about at some stage he stopped actually writing about it completely because he just felt that it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then right now, I'm so glad that the spotlight is on cricket in particular, since the Black Lives Matter movement and how Mapaya Didi and the rest of the cricketers are coming out to say, this is what's happening in cricket, and it has put the spotlight firmly on cricket, and there is no way that cricket cannot transform. And thanks to a large extent to people like Sibusiso Mseleku, who have always kept hammering at cricket and rugby to kind of transform in this age and time in our country.
Thomas, we thank you very much indeed for coming on. Great insight, great fresh perspective with regards to the life and times of Sibusiso. Be well, sir.
Thank you very, very much, and best of luck. And once again, condolences to Sibusiso Mseleku's family and his friends.
Thank you very much indeed, Thomas. Vincent, I'll bring you back into the conversation. I know he passed away yesterday, but any funeral arrangements, details as yet?
Not yet, Blaine. The family, as you can imagine, is still coming to terms with the loss because due to the death being COVID-19 related. Obviously, there are certain protocols that have to be observed in terms of both preparation and as well as the actual exercise of the funeral proceedings. So those details will be made available to the public in due course.
Yeah, Vincent, it is a tough time, no doubt, for you and the family, and I only hope that you guys can hold on to the great memories that you had with Sibusiso and know that he made such a huge impact in South Africa and touched so many lives. So we thank you very much indeed for coming on. Be well.
Thank you very much.
All right. Vincent Magwenya there talking about the loss of Sibusiso Mseleku. Funeral details will be announced once everything is sorted out. All right, let's take a quick break.